a drug by using this instrument. Now the common ion effect. What is meant by common ion effect? It is nothing but the effect of equilibrium that occurs when a common ion is added to the solution. The common ion effects generally in the decreasing the solubility of a solute. Suppose we are added the sodium chloride inside the water and again we have added the HCl. So these Cl ions are common in the both cases. So the one Cl ion can fight for the dissolution purpose toward the water molecules, and suppose the HCl ions release the chlorine ions, they will bind with the water molecules, then the previously dissolved NaCl will get precipitate out. So it is called as the salting out effect. So here the common ions mixed, and that's why the solubility of previously dissolved material it get decreased, or simply we can say that previously added material was precipitated out because of the presence of other common ions. So the examples are here given, that benzoate, solvate, salicate, which open the water structure. Hydrochloride salts often exhibit the lower solubility in the gastric fluid or gastric juice because of the abundance of the chloride ions present inside the gastric fluid. Now the effect of temperature. Now everybody must have the idea that temperature can increase or decrease the solubility of various drugs. So solubility generally depend on the temperature, nature of the solute, nature of the solvent. So the another parameter is the heat of solution, represent in the heat released or absorbed when the mole of solute is dissolved. This is the fourth factor, that is the heat of solution. So when we are trying to dissolve your drug inside any solvent, so generally there might be chances of two reactions, that is the endothermic reaction or the exothermic reaction. So some substances, when we are dissolving into the media, generally they get absorb the heat of that solution and they will get dissolved. When the such drugs absorb the heat from the media, they are called as the endothermic substances. So in this case, to increase the solubility of such type of drug in the particular media, those substances which are endothermic in nature, so their solubility we can be increased by increasing the temperature of that media, because that substance required the temperature for the dissolution purpose. That's why they absorb the heat from that media. If previously we are heating that media, then easily that substance will be dissolved. Then another substance, that is the exothermic substances, which releases the heat inside the solution, or they can release the heat inside the media while dissolution. So such kind of substances solubility will be decreased if we are increasing the temperature. So better way we can keep the normal temperature while dissolving such kind of substances. Now the solubility determination methods. Generally solubility of any substance can be determined by the analytical method. So under the analytical method, concentration of the solute in the saturated solution is determined at the equilibrium by a suitable analytical procedure at the constant temperature. So there are one synthetic method. In this method, weight amount of solute is placed in the vessel, then gradually known amount of solute is added in the solvent until the solubility limit is achieved at the constant temperature. When the equilibrium attains, it means further drug is not getting solubilized at the temperature, then the temperature and the content of that solvent we have to record. It is done at a micro scale level by examining the small amount of system under the hot stage microscope. Now what is meant by hygroscopicity? As all of you know that for the pre-formulation study we should have the idea about the solid nature of your drug. When you are studying about the solid materials or the solid drugs, then some solid material may have the hygroscopic in nature. So the material have the tendency to absorb the atmospheric moisture or the water from the atmosphere. That kind of substance are termed or called as hygroscopic in nature. And the phenomena of absorption of that moisture is called as the hygroscopicity. So the equilibrium moisture content depends on the absorption of the moisture by the drug is depend on the atmospheric humidity, temperature of atmosphere, surface area of the drug, as well as the exposure time of the drug with the atmosphere, as well as the mechanism of moisture uptake by that drug. So these 5 parameters we have to check. So another nature of the solid nature or solid drug may be like that deliquescent material. Deliquescent material is nothing but those drugs having the tendency to absorb the sufficient amount of moisture and get dissolved completely in the absorbed moisture. So that kind of material is called as the deliquescent material. So the manufacturer must have the idea about the basic nature of that solid drug, whether it is hygroscopic in nature or deliquescent in nature, because while manufacturing of the tablet, while manufacturing of the capsule, such kind of property may affect on your final dosage forms. The amount of moisture absorbed by your drug can be determined by the various methods like gravimetry, like thermogravimetric analysis, as well as Karl's-Fischer titration, as well as gas chromatography. So there are the general methods for the increasing the solubility. Suppose you have found that your drug is not having the proper solubility, then by using the different methods we can increase the solubility of your pure drug. Suppose you are manufacturer or you want to prepare the liquid dosage form of your drug, then in that case we need to prepare the any solution or the emulsion. So for that case your drug must be soluble into your vehicle. So if your drug is not having the good solubility, then we can increase the solubility by using the various means. So here first mean is, or the first technique is the addition of the co-solvent. Second is by changing the pH, as well as third is the physical method, that is the reduction of the particle size. Then temperature change method, then hydrotrophy, then addition of surface acting agent, then dielectrical constant, as well as complexion formation. So what is meant by co-solvency or the addition of the co-solvent? When your drug is not having the good solubility into your selected vehicle or the solvent. So in that case we can enhance the solubility of poorly soluble material by using the another solvent. So that another solvent in which your drug is having the good solubility, so that solvent may be here termed as the co-solvent, and the phenomena we may call as the co-solvency. The commonly used co-solvents are ethanol, sorbitol, glycerin, as well as polyethylene glycols. So these are the various types of materials. Generally we are using them as a co-solvent along with the water. For the parenteral product purpose, generally dimethyl acetamide is generally used for the dissolution of your drug. Then pH change method. So by using this pH change method also we can try to increase the solubility of your drug. In the aqueous medium, generally some drugs get dissociated poorly and undissociated portion is insoluble. So the example is the benzoic acid as well as phenobarbital. So the solubility of such kind of material can be increased by changing the pH. So at particular pH there it may have the good solubility, so we can maintain the particular solubility of a particular pH of that solution to have the good solubility. For weak acidic drugs we can increase the pH, so by this way we can increase the solubility. For weak basic drug we can decrease the pH and we can increase the solubility. So by this way we can alter the pH and we can obtain the required solubility of your drug. Another method is the temperature change method. Already we have discussed about the endothermic substances as well as exothermic substances. Endothermic substances, those drugs which are having the ability or tendency to increase the temperature of your solvent. So such kind of substances are called as the exothermic substances, and those substances which are having the tendency to release the heat inside the solution. So in the endothermic reaction, by increasing the temperature, solubility can be increased, as well as in the exothermic reaction, by increasing the temperature, solubility can be decreased. So by this way we can change or alter the solubilities of your drugs. Then reduction of the particle size. So it is the physical method. Here, to increase the dissolution rate, we can decrease the particle size. As the particle size will get decreased, the surface area of the particle will be increased. So ultimately there will be the increase in the solubility of your drug. Now the hydrotrophy. Hydrotrophy has been used to designate the increase in the solubility of drug in a water due to the presence of large amount of additives. Suppose we are using the additional additives which are having a very good solubility in your selected vehicle like water. So by using the such kind of additives we can increase the solubility of your drug, and this method is called as the hydrotrophy. So example is the solubilization of benzoic acid with the sodium benzoate. Then complexation. This is another means for the increasing the solubility. For the complexation occur, both the drug and ligand molecules should be able to donate or accept the electrons. Here we are trying to form the complex of your drug with the such material which is having the good solubility in your selected solvent. The solubility of compound is the sum of solubility of the compound and its complex. So here example is the mercuric iodide is sparingly soluble in the water. Its solubility in water is increased by forming the complex with the Ki. Then using the surface acting agents. So it is very common to use the surfactants. Surface acting agents generally acts at the both the phases or by acting phases they will lower the surface tension of the both phases, and they will allow your drug to get solubilized into your selected vehicle by lowering the surface tension. Generally surface acting agents are ionic, cationic, non-ionic,